Hi, my name's Lauren from Lauren's Cravings over on Instagram. Firstly, thanks very much for watching this video. It is the top 10 pregnancy essentials according to me. I was pregnant from July 2020 through to April 2021. So I gave birth not too long ago. My wee boy is 3 months old at this point in time. So I've said 10 in the title. You are getting a little bonus one because my last one is only for breastfeeding mothers. So if you plan to formula feed, I'll add on an additional. So we'll just launch in with number 1 on my list, which is a selection of good old drugs. When I say drugs, obviously primarily it is vitamins. So vitamins are essential for a healthy pregnancy. In the UK, you're given these from your midwife at your first antenatal appointment. They will have vitamin C, D and folic acid. Hopefully when you were trying to conceive, you were taking folic acid anyway. They recommend it for, I think it's 3 or 4 months prior to getting pregnant. If not, don't worry, they will have it in these multivitamins for you. Another essential item for me, paracetamol. And just to note, you have not to take ibuprofen when you are pregnant. So paracetamol is your painkiller of choice. You will need this as pregnancy progresses. You might not if you're really lucky. I had a lot of issues with my hips, my back, headaches at various points through pregnancy. So paracetamol was on hand for when I needed it. Heartburn is another issue that a lot of people deal with during pregnancy. So there's 2 items here for me. Omeprazole and these gaviscon double action chewable tablets, right? So I have a hiatus hernia. So I already had a prescription for omeprazole. If your heartburn gets that bad, please go to the doctor. They might actually prescribe you this for the duration of your pregnancy. If not, there's obviously drinkable gaviscon. These saved me quite a few times because omeprazole only works if you take it proactively, so before you get heartburn. Take it every morning, not when you feel it coming on, every morning, and it should stave off heartburn. I was getting to the point laterally in pregnancy I had to take 2 a day, which I am allowed to do, but my 1 tablet a day just wasn't cutting it. If I didn't have access to these or I hadn't taken them out with me, this is where the gaviscon chewable tablets came in, and they do provide instant relief, and it means you're not having to glug potentially the aniseed one, which, let's be honest, nobody likes. So these are mint flavour, really easy, quick, and give you the hit you need to kind of take away that instant pain. One other item that I will mention as part of this item number 1 is ginger. Now, you could take a ginger supplement, ginger tea, ginger biscuits, and that is for nausea. I had nausea between weeks 4 to 5 through about week 9. They say it can last to week 12 to 14 for some people, and unfortunately for others who have a condition through pregnancy, it can last the duration of your whole pregnancy. If it is that extreme, you will be seeing a GP though, so I don't think ginger biscuits are going to cut it. So unfortunately I didn't bring them down here. Now there's probably a reason for that because I would have eaten them. Okay, so on to number 2. And I'm doing these items in the order of when I actually required them throughout my pregnancy. You can hear my wee boy over there, he's just woken up from a nap. So let's hope that I get this done. Decaf, tea and coffee. You will need to limit your caffeine intake, okay? So if you're anything like me, especially with COVID making some people work from home more, you will want to continue to drink hot beverages. So decaf tea, decaf coffee. I did still have 1 coffee a day. I bought a new Sage coffee machine, so it was a glorious coffee. I was enjoying it, and then I was on to the decaf stuff. And he's all right, trust me, it's turned out just fine. Item number 3 for me, and this is just a recommendation, it was a private scan. Now, on the NHS, you don't get a scan prior to 12 weeks. And before 12 weeks, I was experiencing some anxiety in relation to the pregnancy. I have PCOS. I also obviously hadn't been pregnant before. Experiencing that for the first time, especially during a global pandemic, I am not an anxious person, and yet I was the most anxious I've ever been in my whole life. So this just set my mind at ease. and made me feel a lot more comfortable in the early stages, knowing that everything was okay. So I've actually got, I went for 3 private scans in total, and the first one, it was just a tiny little dot, and I got the scan that it was just a tiny little dot because it really showed the perspective of things, but they can hear the heartbeat from about 5 weeks, and see, hear the heartbeat, it just totally put my mind at ease. So that's why a private scan is number 3 pregnancy essential for me. Number 4, although that looked like 8, number 4, you'll see it here, pregnancy pillow, okay? So this one, as you can see, is massive. They do different shapes, so this is a C. Just from personal experience, I probably wouldn't use a C pregnancy pillow, simply because as I got heavier at the end of my pregnancy, so in my 3rd trimester, it got really difficult to disentangle myself from it. So I'd probably recommend just one of the eye pillows that you can still lie on but goes between your legs. Other than that, and it's what I went back to right at the end when that got too difficult, was just a simple pillow. Just a pillow, normal pillow, and just put it between your legs. It makes everything for your back, hips, everything just a lot more comfortable and easy. Number 5, maternity clothing. Now, I was on the fence about it, and I am glad having got some that I purchased, some items. Critical ones for me were maternity leggings, maternity tights, because it meant that I had something to go underneath dresses that I had that could fit my bump from, pre-pregnancy. And the leggings you can also wear postpartum. I actually have some on right now. So I would encourage you to buy some. You might as well get some stuff. Because you will wear it postpartum, and the tights, etc., just make it a lot more comfortable. I got some nice tops that as well I still wore for a couple of months postpartum. Other than that, hoodies, maxi dresses, you'll be able to make it work, but I would encourage you to invest in some good maternity clothing. Number 6 is an antenatal education or hypnobirthing, and hypnobirthing ideally. So I done the antenatal classes with Baby Academy. They have a free class. They also have the day class. I would thoroughly recommend it. And I also done hypnobirthing with Born This Way Hypnobirthing. Lindsay was fantastic. If you have watched my labour stories, you'll understand what a success hypnobirthing was for me. And also the antenatal classes just gave me the education I needed to be fully informed and also just feel calm and confident about the whole thing. And I know that sounds quite cheesy, but I genuinely was, because I knew everything. I was aware of my choices. I knew what decisions, and I had a kind of plan in place. Lindsay taught me, use your brain. So benefits, risks, alternatives, instinct, nothing. Know that you can ask questions, know that it's your decision, know that it's your choice. You have total control. I also pushed that little sucker out 8 hours and 20 minutes after having my first contraction. I turned up to the hospital 10 centimetres dilated. So, hey, work for me, educate yourself. Number 7 is this baby here. Medicine ball. Now, I'm going to put this probably in my post-birth video recommendations as well, because it helps get this little guy off to sleep. Just the rock in motion, amazing. However, later on in pregnancy, I was doing figure 8s on the ball, probably for about 3-4 weeks before I gave birth, so about 36 weeks onwards. They say it helps just get your pelvis in alignment, and you need your pelvis in alignment to be able to birth your baby in the most optimum manner. I also didn't tear, and we'll get to that soon, because that's another item in the list of why I think an item that I used that I think helped towards that. Number 8 on my list is a maternity shirt. I wish that I could have got one. It was peak COVID time. It was the 3rd lockdown in Scotland, and I couldn't. I got a newborn shoot, which I'm really happy about, but I wish I'd been able to do a maternity shoot. So if you can't do a maternity shoot, or you don't want a professional shoot, take lots of photos, right? So this is ones all the way through my pregnancy that you can see. Just lots of, and there's bump photos in there, there's scan photos in there, so loads of people said one thing that they didn't regret was, taking photos. You get so many people that say they regret not taking any or not enough. So take plenty of photos. I'm so glad, because honestly, even looking back at the ones that I'm being stupid or my belly's out and, I'm measuring the bump, I'm really happy I've got them. So lots of photos, but if you're lucky enough that you can get a maternity shirt, please do one. Number 9, and this is the item that shh. Number 9, Perennial Massage Oil. Now, I would recommend this to everybody. I spoke to a consultant after I'd given birth, and she did say this is probably why I didn't tear my perineum, or at least part of the reason why, because I think 70 to 80% of new mums tear their perineum, which is between your vagina and your butthole. I was doing perineal massage probably from about weeks 35 to 37. I was doing it 2-3 times a week. From week 37 onwards up to about 40 weeks, I gave birth one day after my due date. I was doing it every single day, and I just done it in the shower. I've not said this to many people, but if you watch this video, and you're free to message me if you want to, right? But it was a tip that I managed to find. He's not going to like this. I'm going to need to get him to close his ears. But see, if you're struggling to reach, use a vibrator. You're welcome. Now and item number 10, and this is for the breastfeeding mothers. Syringes. This is for collecting colostrum. Now, I've got a highlight on colostrum and its benefits, and also how you do it, how you hand express, and my Instagram page if you go and check out. The reason I say do this is collecting colostrum, liquid gold, just in case anything goes wrong. I discuss why you would want to do it, but also it's to get you familiar with hand expressing and your breast anatomy, hence why I recommend it as my 10th item, because I learned an awful lot from watching how to hand express for doing this, which I didn't know beforehand, and actually was really helpful for when it came to breastfeed. And my second number 10, which is technically kind of 11, but if these didn't apply to you, then you can go for your skincare. Now, I use these. I've still got stretch marks. They say stretch marks are more genetic than anything else. If you like to actually give yourself a pamper, because let's be honest, like if you're pregnant, you can sometimes feel quite bleh. So if you want to actually build this into a routine to make you feel good, go for it. Looking after your skin is never a bad idea. What? Do you want to come join me for the last item to say goodbye? Is it because you came out of the pregnancy and you're not in the video? Okay, so that's us. That's my top 10 essential items for pregnancy. Let me know if you find any of them helpful, if there's anything that you hadn't thought of that you actually think, God, that is going to be essential. And please subscribe, like the video, drop a note below and let me know if there's any other essential lists that you'd like me to upload, and I will get on that for next time if this little guy lets me record without making lots of noise, although he is my son, so I think we're just in for a life of noise. Thanks very much, guys, and I'll speak to you next time. Bye. Hey. Oh, Bryce. The camera's focused on you. Oh.